Sports Radio 550.
Really asking, how close are we to getting to the point where we are talking about like Sabres players individually and what we know about them personally? And I'm sorry, something's in my eye. Sort of the 20 years ago deep dive kind of life we were living with the Sabres. Are we getting close to the point where we're going to want to know like what Peyton Krebs' favorite food is? Are we getting to the point where we're going to talk about them? Are we? How far away are we from that?
Who's the we here? I don't.
Lucky Pants.
Okay, Lucky Pants. Sure. I don't remember any of that stuff happening.
Really?
In 05 and
favorite
06.
Food?
Yeah, I don't.
That exactly?
I don't know. I'm not saying it didn't. I mean, I'm not the best at always remembering all the details. But I just think interest has got to be peaking right now.
How perfect is their timing for us?
Couldn't
fans?
Possibly be better.
Because the Bills thing is pretty sad right now,
I
think. I'm sorry. I'm distracted by something's in my eye. How much better could their timing be for this sort of, not malaise, but this kind of melancholy feeling about the Bills, not just again, losing in the middle of the AFC playoffs, but the coaching hire seems kind of lame.
The
and
news conference and
news conferences. Yeah. We'll definitely talk about that.
No, the door it was wide open for something to walk through it, and the Sabres they got going before. Obviously, it was before the holidays that they started streaking, but it was sort of, we were still, as the holidays were ending, that Columbus game was at the tail end, I think. It was after New Year's, I think.
The loss?
If I have it right. Yeah. Wasn't Dallas the 10th win in a row on New Year's Eve and then that Saturday after New Year's? Do I have that right? I might have the weeks mixed up a little bit. I'm sorry if I do. Anyways, that game marked the end of the 10-game winning streak on a Saturday, early January. And from there, they just sort of picked right up again. And that's, to me, when it got real. Like, I don't think there was anything fluky about the 10 in a row, unlike the thing that happened 7 or 8 years ago, when they won all those overtime and shootout games and were still largely getting killed in games, but they were getting results. So, yay, we're in first place. It's Thanksgiving or whatever they were. I don't remember if they were actually in first place, but it was going well. And then it just completely derailed.
Jeff Skinner in overtime
against San Jose.
San Jose, okay.
There was a Montreal game that they also...
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, maybe he scored them both, but I think the 10th win in a row was San Jose Skinner. And this win streak did not remind me of that at all. But you never know, right? Because we've been through it, and I think you could still sort of... Skepticism was warranted, even though they had reeled off 10 in a row. But the fact that they have still only lost... 4 games total, 3-1, 18-3-1 is the record now in their last 23 games, is kind of bonkers.
19-3-1.
19-3-1, thank you.
Yeah. I'm not sure I'm right.
It's hard to keep track. Right. No, I think that's right. I think there was another one. Yeah, the last night was added onto the total.
It's 22 games. But anyway, 23. No, you're
23.
Right. 23 games. Sorry. I'm bothered by whatever's happening to my eye. Yes, I think so. They won 10 games in a row, and that was really fun and interesting and kind of funny because, they changed general managers, and here's Paul saying they have to win 10 in a row to make it interesting. I'm like, no, they don't. They have to make like 5 in a row to make it interesting. But then they won 10 in a row, and they were still in the middle. And since then, it's, what's the math? 9, 3-1 since the 10?
Yeah, that's right.
And I've paid more attention to these games since... than those games. And they just look so good.
Yeah.
Like, is there any part of... This is the question. Is there any part of you, anybody listening, yourself, that thinks it's a fluke? Like, what is the fluke component in this? It's still hockey. It's the NHL. Mm-hmm. And as we know from Sabres history, as you said, bad teams get hot, or at least get on a roll and win games in a row. But does this look like a team that isn't for real? Or is it our past that's working on that, that's sort of making it? Where is everybody on this? Does it make sense? This is maybe the primary question is, I asked you this, an hour ago, does it make sense that this is all happening?
It is hard. I was asked this. I've been asked this randomly by people that I just happened to run into someone at Dashes on my way here.
Tell me that story.
I was asked this on. Well, I do say in the ads, I'm in there 3 times a week, and if you ever see me, stop and say hi. So that happens. And I was asked this question on Toronto radio yesterday. What has changed? And I will continue to say I don't think you can overstate the impact of removing the general manager. I can't prove it, right? There's not a metric other than them just tearing the league up the second they heard that it might be coming to a head. They won in Edmonton to start this streak. And that week, that was a Tuesday, that Monday was when we started hearing rumblings that something's going to happen or something could happen. And sure enough, when they got home from that trip, it happened. And they got going halfway through that trip. And I think when you don't believe in who you're working for or the overall, I just think there is a limit to how far you're going to go. And that has been completely removed. This team, to me, the thing that I think isn't fluky about it is that there is a commitment to playing, and then at some point here, I don't know, maybe it'll be tomorrow night. They'll have a game like the Columbus game because they were objectively awful, like 200 feet all around in that Columbus game. They just didn't have it, and there'll be a game here where they're not going to have it. I mean, maybe there have been some here that they've still managed to win. I don't know, but they are. Everybody talks about hard to play against every year. Every GM, every coach will tell you we want to get harder to play against. And what is that? That is a commitment to just never quitting on a play. Josh Doan, there's a reel of Josh Doan takeaways where he's back checking and just doesn't give up, comes in, takes the puck, goes the other way. That has sort of spread through the team, and that is what I don't consider any of that fluky. I think it is just they are trying harder. I know that sounds crazy because they're the record is incredible here for what is it now, 6 weeks or however long it's been.
December 9th is Edmonton.
All right. So
it's almost February.
It seems a little too convenient because it lines up time-wise. Adams acquired every one of these players.
I am so grateful for this, for all of this. Hard to play against can be an entire show.
Right.
What does that mean? I think 20 years ago, when we were here last, that meant to me scoring a lot because that team scored a lot. And, miss me was not a phrase. It's come and gone in 20 years. But I didn't want to hear about how that meant body checking or the walls or just, anything, the neutral zone stuff. That to me meant I'm scoring the hell out of, I'm just scoring all the time and I'm going to win because you can't outscore me. And I think that's happening right now. Not to say your thing isn't.
No, they're scoring like crazy too. I'm trying to count right now. There might be only 4 or 5 teams in the league that have more goals.
How many of these games since this all started have they scored at least 3? Almost all of them. No Columbus, no Carolina. Twice. We decided it was 23 games. Twice have they not scored at least 3 goals. So it's hard to play against at all attached to scoring goals. How about these goals last night? All of it. Just pass from the right wing. Deflected by the Leafs. Goalie goes the other way. Oh, it's in. There were even one disallowed. So they're scoring like crazy. And to me, sort of this is what that means. But honestly, like, I'm just a caveman right now when it comes to the Sabres and all this hockey analysis. I feel like it's so long ago. Maybe it's a generation ago, really.
Yeah.
It's not 2011 that rates, other than the trivia of it being the last time they made the playoffs. It's 2006. It's 06, 07 when they were really good.
Yeah.
And then 10 was a fluke. It was a Ryan Miller fluke. And then 11 was Terry Pegula buys the team. The Fields come back. Somebody called yesterday about like the history with Pegula, and the one thing I thought of was that night at the end of the regular season in 11 when he had all the alumni there. That was an amazing. That might have been the best night ever in that building. It
was pretty great.
I mean, tears everywhere.
Yeah.
So there was that, but was that team good? Like, they were bad until now, and then they were
a little bit. It's a little similar to this. You know, like something happened that had nothing to do with the lineup or the ice or the matchups or any of it. It was just something changed. Here comes an owner who says, I'm going to, do I need to recite give you the
Stanley Cups?
The Stanley Cups. And,
you can't say it like that. You have to say it the
Stanley
way.
Cups.
Stanley Cups.
Stanley Cups. Right. I always love the emphasis on the
only
the
person I've ever heard say it that way.
Stanley Cups. Yes.
He'd just been informed of the
right.
the term, the thing.
So that sort of like the cloud is lifted, and I do think that is the largest factor in all of this. There are lineup things that did happen too. What was that an O because something just happened? Should I stop talking? Okay. Norris rejoined the lineup somewhere in the midst of the 10-game streak, or maybe even before it. But he had a absolute immediate impact. Josh Norris getting in the lineup. Osland is in that on that trip. He gets sent down because the 3-goalie thing, and Lindy's mad about it. That precipitated the firing. I don't think that it was the smoking gun or anything, but it was Lindy sort of doing what McDermott did during the football season, right? He's like, I can't say anything bad about him. I love him. He's great. I'm paraphrasing, but basically
he won.
In
this case.
Yeah. The kid, it was,
Lindy won.
He was right back. And now Helenius, having a positive impact. Like they've got something new there. There are 2 new impactful young forwards that were not a part of the group. Really, even when the streak began, barely. Osland was. Helenius has come in late and sort of kept that rolling. So those are lineup things that are real that I don't think you want to underestimate. But to me, it's still more about what am I getting all around the ice from my top 4 defensemen. We'll see if Kesselring eventually can take some heat off of those 4 guys.
I'd bet on it.
Me too. Thompson is not look, it's not just because they're winning. I watch these games, and when guys make bad plays, I usually notice, like, why are you on the wrong side of that? What's that? What's that pass? What are you doing here? And Thompson feels buttoned up. You're just getting a lot from your best guys. I mean, Dahlin last night, 5 points and a hat trick. I mean, holy cow.
Thompson is your belief point.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
He might be the best example of, all right, I'm buying in.
Yeah.
He's already super good. He got his money. He scores like crazy, highlight reel stuff, Mario Lemieux comparisons. But then, why isn't he caring at all about the play going the other way and these bad decisions, maybe selfish? And now you might say he's at a point where he is invested.
Absolutely.
In the results.
That's what
and he's scoring too.
I feel like his play tells you that. I don't know that he would even ever. He's certainly not going to tell you that publicly. I really wasn't trying. Yeah, how's it going to go over? But I think the results, shift to shift, speak for themselves. They're just getting a lot more out of. Again, a couple of kids, okay, but mostly it's the group. It's the same group. And, it's everybody, right? It's Beck Malenstein is here absolutely to be used as a bullet taker, blocking shots and just ramming people. But you've got Jason Zucker doing that at the end of games, where they're up comfortably. And he's like, everybody's just in. So
it's so much fun.
Yes, it is.
There are, I can think of 3 players top of my head that I was so done with. 3 stars. Of completely done with. Nothing matters anymore. This woebegone franchise. Is the owner still awake during games? Where we were 3 months ago, 12 months ago, 36 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's just whatever you want to do. They re-sign Zucker. Why? Okay. Well, go Sabres. They don't move on Samuelson. Look at Samuelson.
I know.
Right. Oh my God, this he's a disaster. He won't the one thing we need him for, physical presence, he's not up for. Now he's
a wrecking
sniper
ball.
And a sniper.
Yeah.
Just this guy, Byram, I don't know yet what I want to do with Byram. But of course you have to move him. Young, big, skater. I mean, they wanted to, I think, last year.
They didn't.
And then they couldn't.
Yep.
And then they signed him. That's, of course, the Sabres would do that because you're going to try to spin it into a positive. And, he's relevant. You're going to tell me if you think he's, good. But, still, he's somebody.
He matters a lot to the speed and how hard to play against is not just defending. And they are so fast, and he's a big part of that in the offensive zone. He's a great skater, and he's a great puck handler. He's still not, to me, buttoned up in his own end, but the pros far outweigh the cons at this point. I'm not eager to swap him out for anything right now.
Well, Bulldog, you can't, yes or no, I'm asking, not telling. You can't trade anybody right now off this group, or can you? Tuck. You can't. You really can't.
I don't think
mess
you can
with it.
I don't think. I think you're at a point now where if you can't get to a contract extension for him, I think you got to just put your head down and live with it. Go to the summer,
fine,
and see what happens. Because whatever you're going to trade him for is not, unless there's some incredible trade out there that gets you his replacement. Which is not how that trade works in the NHL. If a team is trading for Alex Tuck and presumably going to sign him to a contract extension.
They're playing to win.
They're playing to win. They're not giving you a 27-year-old 30-goal scorer back.
No.
This is not happening. You might get someone who could turn into that in a couple of years, or even a pick, or maybe both things.
Anything that disrupts
right. You can't
this,
do it.
You can't do it.
You can't do it. I don't think you can anyway. So, and this GM, by the way, presided over a Columbus team that was leaning hard into trying to get to the playoffs and rode through the deadline with Panarin and Bobrovsky, and both guys flew the coop in the summer. And he got nothing back for him. But
how did that go?
He did it.
Is that the year they beat Tampa?
Maybe. I don't know if they won a round. That's the year they won that round.
Do you think he would? I don't know him at all. Kekalainen. Do you think he would be unmoved, blown away, anything by the reality that there's a talk show in the United States that's talking about a hockey team? Because, I think maybe what's going to happen, they have 5 games left before the Olympics. They're home the next 2. LA tomorrow, Montreal on Saturday. Is it pretty safe to say that nothing is going to go so sideways before that break where, we need the Sabres? The timing couldn't have been better. I was talking to, a guy, do I need to preface this? Someone you have adored and admired for so long, Adam Krautwurst.
Oh, well, of course. Well, that's appropriate.
I was talking to him.
Yeah.
I haven't known him for long enough to be able to talk about the Sabres. He said something about, this is the first time he's in Rochester, right? This is the first time I've ever, sort of woken up in the morning and wanted to know how they did. And so that, that's
new.
That's everybody has. That's what 2006 was. There were people who were not hardcore fans. They didn't know who Gilbert Perreault was. They didn't know who Hasek was. But everybody around them in this community was like into it. And is it too much to say that we are on the cusp of that, or are we into that right now? Last night, they go to play the Leafs, and the Leafs are a little bit down, and they blow them out.
Yeah, the Leafs had like big meetings with the leadership group. That was it's the last game of a 5-game homestand, and they lost 0-3-1 coming into last night and a 5-game homestand. And so they had a big like, guys, come on, we got to start now, lean hard into the Olympic break, and we'll like salvage our season. And now what's being written up there is like last night, that's the end of it. Time to sell, Toronto.
Well, they're having a you can't lose at home to Buffalo moment.
Right. I would listen.
That happened in 2006.
I am not the guy that goes, and I know people do this, and I'm sure it can be fun. That goes listening to the out of town, the other stations, right? But Toronto's so close.
You would if you weren't a guest.
I would love right now to know what is being said on the show that's opposite ours in Toronto. If they're talking about the Leafs and if they got an eye full of Buffalo last night, because it's young, it's fast, it's tenacious, and I mean they just ran circles around them.
I think it would feel like an ending.
Yeah,
even though it isn't one. It isn't really an ending, but it would feel like one because the Sabres have been so lowly for so long.
Yeah, just an easy mark.
We're just down the road, and if they pass you in the standings, kind of by a little bit or a lot. And then they go into your building when you're supposedly desperate and you just get handled, it would feel like, okay, well, you're trading people today.
Full-on crisis.
And we have been so despondent, at least I'll say this for myself, if not, I'm not speaking for everyone, but so despondent and, it's like so over there. I don't even care to talk about trade deadline conversations because, like, I don't even care. Like, just do what you got to do. The Sabres have been sellers or quasi-sellers for a decade, at least. And now it's like, it's always very just latent. Right under the surface is the possibility that they can just kind of find the switch and we're all like ready to play and party and go with them. And I think like if it wasn't happening already, last night might have been that. Like I got nothing else to do. I can watch the Traders. It's a stream. I can watch it later. The curling is on you. That can wait.
Yep.
I can just do this right now. And you go to Toronto. You get the disallowed goal. You get the feels going. And I'm down 2-1. Austin Matthews pretends to be excited about a goal he scored. That was all so fake, I thought, but maybe not. I don't really know him. And then it's just sort of a Thompson's goal at the end of the first.
Tuck's goal 15 seconds into the second.
5-3.
Like we're here for you.
This is what we want. This is it.
Yeah, it's really hot right now.
Let's indulge the Sabres and the fans. 803-0550. Chris Trapasso joining us today at 4. Not only the Bills, the aftermath. Sorry, in advance. Nothing against Chris. The aftermath, the coaching hire, the Senior Bowl, the draft.
Right. Oh, yep.
I've got my pen. I've got names. I'm ready to write down names for the 26th pick. So we have that. We'll talk to Sal as well and Paul Hamilton later on. We'll look for your calls next, 803-0550. Thanks for listening. This is fun. That's allowed. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog. This is WGR.